What if the path to a more profitable firm isn't finding more clients, but actually letting go of the wrong ones?
Welcome to the Lawyer Millionaire Podcast, the show where law firm owners learn to build wealth, scale their firms, and design the life of freedom they deserve. Hosted by Darren Wars, business and wealth advisor for law firm owners and author of The Lawyer Millionaire, this podcast delivers the strategies and inspiration you need to break free from the grind and become the financial success you envision. Let's dive in.
Hey friend, welcome back to the Lawyer Millionaire Podcast. I'm your host, Darren Wirtz. Before we dive in, a quick commercial for our free law firm owner community, which you want to be a part of, the Lawyer Millionaire community. We're really excited because this year our theme is Profit on Purpose, if you haven't caught that by now. In Q1, we read the book Profit First and hosted a series of masterclasses on the topic and how to implement Profit First in your law firm. But that's only the beginning, my friend, because throughout the rest of the year, we're building on that foundation and going to the next levels. So coming up in Q2, our theme is Profit Science, and we're reading the books Simple Numbers and Simple Numbers 2.0. You're not going to want to miss this. Go ahead and sign up at community.lawyermillionaire.com. All right, so here's a question I want you to ask and sit with. What would your firm's profit margin look like if you fired your 10 most draining clients? Today, we're exploring one of the most counterintuitive and honestly liberating decisions that you as a law firm owner can make. And that is the deliberate, professional decision to let certain clients go. And here's what I want you to think about. Think about your firm as a cup. It has a limited capacity, or maybe a water bottle, okay? Every client who drains more than they contribute is occupying space that a well-matched client could fill. The goal isn't a full glass, it's the right things in the glass. A well-curated practice that generates real profit with less friction, less stress, and more of the work that you actually want to be doing. That's what we're building towards today. If you're a law firm owner, solo to small firm, there's a good chance that right now you have clients on your client roster who are costing you more than you're paying, or than they're paying you. Not just in dollars, but in other things like energy, team morale, the quiet dread of certain Monday mornings. I know you've been there. And here's what I see consistently, and the data almost always confirms this. Keeping the wrong clients isn't loyalty or generosity, either to you or to them. It's a profitability problem that's hiding in plain sight. The good news is it's easy to fix. Let's talk about the real impact of bad clients. A study of thousands of businesses by the Strategics Group found that the top quartile of clients in any business, the average business, including service-based businesses and law firms, account for 150% of profit. 150%, that's more than 100%, right? Is my mathing? Yes, it is. Well, that means somebody is consuming profit, and you're right. That's because the lowest quartile on average actually creates negative 50% of profit. A firm that actually lets clients go and replaces none of them can often be more profitable than before. Removing low-margin clients frees capacity, lightens overhead, and steadies cash flow. And I know this is counterintuitive and it seems wrong. Letting clients go means lost revenue, right? Well, there are 7 clear reasons why this matters, and I want to talk through each one of these with you today. Because understanding why you should fire profitable clients makes it a lot easier to actually do it. Number 1, bad clients consume far more resources than they actually pay for. The invoice, sure, you have that goes out, but the invoice doesn't capture everything. The invoice captures billed time, but there's a lot more. There's the partner calls that are spent reassuring someone who calls 3 times a week. There's the associate hours devoted to scope creep, work that never gets billed because the conversation would be too uncomfortable. It's the administrative energy consumed by billing disputes and follow-up emails. It's the all-hands conversations about how to handle a situation that shouldn't exist in the first place. Or worse, the bar complaint that you didn't deserve but have to shell out tens of thousands of dollars to defend. And here's something that doesn't get talked about enough. With difficult clients, you're often not even billing for everything you legitimately could. There's a quiet fear that creeps in. Oh, if I put that on the invoice, they'll dispute it, they'll complain, they won't like it. So you eat it. You write it off before it even gets billed. You absorb the costs silently just to avoid the conflict. That's not generosity. That's a relationship that has trained you to undervalue your own work. When you run a true client-level profitability analysis, connecting revenue, billable hours, write-offs, and non-billable management time to individual clients, the results can be eye-popping. The clients who feel the most demanding are rarely your most profitable. In fact, they're usually your least. Second, bad clients pull down your realization rate. What is that? Well, your realization rate is the percentage of billed time that you actually collect. It's one of the clearest indicators of your firm's financial health. And difficult clients are the number one reason it quietly erodes. Most healthy law firms land between 85 and 95% in their realization rate. Write-offs above a 10 to 12% number are worth paying close attention to. Now think what that means in practice. A client who's billed at $10,000, who pays actually only $7,000 after write-offs and drawn-out negotiations, isn't a $10,000 client. They're a $7,000 client who consumed $12,000 worth of actual time and energy. So it's really important to realize this. Every percentage point you recover in realization goes directly to profit without requiring a single additional billable hour, without requiring a single new client, or any changes to your fee structure whatsoever. You don't have to grow your firm to put more money in your pocket. You just have to collect what you've already earned. For many firm owners, improving realization rate is the single fastest path to a meaningful increase in take-home income. And it starts with identifying which clients are consistently pulling that number down. Now, if you're a flat fee firm, you may approach this a little bit differently, but actually the math is easier to see. Because in a flat fee practice, everyone's paying the same amount. And so those clients that are a pain in the butt and are consuming a lot of time, well, they're really eating into your profit margin. Third, bad clients occupy space that better clients could be filling. Your most valuable asset is not your office. It's not your staff. It's not really your reputation, though all of those are really important. It's high quality attorney time, and it is finite. When that capacity is being used up by low margin clients, it isn't available for clients who otherwise would pay full rate, who would respect the relationship, and who also would refer others like themselves. And it's not just about capacity in the abstract. Think about what it actually feels like. What does it feel like to spend your week chasing down a difficult client, managing their anxiety, renegotiating your fees, untangling scope creep, fielding the late night emails? When your energy and time are consumed by that, you're not available for the relationship that could lead to your next great referral. You're not thinking clearly about the strategic work that would actually move your firm forward. The best clients, the ones who energize your team and send you more people just like them, those opportunities don't wait around. If you're too busy firefighting, you will miss them. And here's something worth thinking about. A firm doing $2 million in revenue with a clean, well-matched client roster often outperforms a $3 million firm bleeding out through write-offs, difficult relationships, and wasted capacity. Top line revenue tells you very little. What matters is what's left after the work is done. This is the opportunity cost that never shows up on the P&L, but it quietly shapes everything. Number 4, bad clients wear down your team. Attorney and staff turnover is one of the most expensive challenges that a firm can face. When you factor in recruiting costs, onboarding time, productivity loss, and institutional knowledge that walks out the door, replacing a single associate can cost more than $100,000. And difficult clients are a direct, consistent contributor to that problem. Attorneys and staff who regularly absorb difficult, disrespectful, or chronically unreasonable client behavior wear down faster, sometimes visibly, sometimes quietly, but they do wear down. And also, they're going to notice. They're going to notice if you do anything about it. When you make the thoughtful decision to actually end a client relationship that isn't working, it tells your staff something. It tells them we have standards here. We protect the people who work here. And that kind of trust is hard to build, and it builds slowly, and it's not built simply by paying people. So bad clients wear down your team. 5th, bad clients quietly shape your positioning in the market. The clients you keep communicate something to your referral network, whether you intend it or not. When you accept anyone who can fund a retainer or anyone who breathes, it signals that there's no filter. It diminishes your image. And over time, that signal tends to attract more of the same. The most profitable and fulfilling practices are the ones who are really, really specific about who they serve. They know the type of matter where they do their best work. They know the kind of client that brings out their team's strengths. That kind of specificity commands premium fees and attracts premium clients because people can feel when you truly understand their situation. So, letting go of bad clients is actually a positioning statement. It reinforces who your firm is built to serve, and it protects that clarity. Number 6, the profitability math, consistently favors letting bad clients go. Your firm's profitability depends on 2 things, as you probably know: the revenue you bring in and the fully loaded cost of delivering it. Well, no surprise there. But difficult clients attack both sides of the equation at the same time. They reduce your revenue through write-offs, discounts, and slow collection, or not even paying at all. And they inflate your costs through wasted capacity, overhead, and the hidden tax of team friction. When you free up that capacity, one of 2 profitable things happens. Either you fill it with a better client at a higher effective rate, which improves revenue, or you don't replace it at all, which actually reduces overhead and improves your labor efficiency ratio. Either direction improves profit. Dropping clients and reducing revenue can meaningfully increase your profitability in most cases. Revenue may dip temporarily, but profits tend to rise. And that is really the counterintuitive thing that we have to realize. It feels like a loss, letting go of bad clients, but you'll find that actually profits rise. Revenue is vanity and profit is sanity, as they say, and it's worth repeating because it runs so counter to so much of how we're trained to think. Last but not least, bad clients create cash flow instability. Law firm cash flow depends on predictable billing and collection cycles. Difficult clients introduce unpredictability. They're late on paying, they dispute things, there's trust account complications, and collection conversations that consume your energy. If you're running a profit-first system, allocating your revenue into separate accounts for profit, owner's compensation, taxes, and OPEX, as we've discussed on this show in previous episodes this year, difficult clients can undermine that structure. You can't allocate what you haven't collected, right? And you can't plan around a cash flow schedule that's constantly shifting. And here's the longer arc and the more important part of this. Stable, predictable cash flow isn't just important to your law firm's operations. It is the foundation of building real, lasting, personal financial freedom as a law firm owner. And that's the whole point of all of this, isn't it? So let's not let a handful of difficult client relationships quietly erode the ground that you're standing on. Well, let's go deeper with this, because the real issue here isn't just how to let a client go, it's understanding why you said yes in the first place. In my experience, firm owners accept the wrong clients for one of three reasons. A, you're concerned about revenue loss, aka you're just trying to pay the bills, so you'll take anyone who comes in the door. Or B, discomfort with difficult conversations. You have trouble saying no, and many of us have been there. Or C, the absence of a clearly defined ideal client profile, meaning you're not actually sure who you really serve best. So, which of these applies to you? Maybe all three. Well, then that tells you right there what we need to fix so that this problem doesn't continue to arise. So here's the one thing I want you to do this week that will help you make this shift. Audit your clients over the last 12 months. I'm not asking you to fire them yet, although you should, the bad ones. Audit your clients over the last 12 months. Which ones were great? Which ones do you wish you hadn't said yes to? And then take it a step further. What do your great clients all have in common? Get clear on who you actually want to serve. Who are those great clients? And for those clients you said yes to but didn't want to, you just did it to get some revenue in the door, how did that turn out? Because, well, worst case, and this may have happened, they probably ended up moving on anyway or terminating the relationship early and just caused a lot of headaches. So get clear on who you serve, and all else will follow. The firm owners who build the most sustainable, fulfilling practices aren't the ones who say yes to everyone. They're the ones who've gotten clear about who they're truly here to serve. You know, early in my career, I took on any client who was breathing. So I've been there, done that. And this led to a roster of clients who were very diverse. Very diverse. Now, sometimes this is okay at the beginning because you need to get started. But at a certain point, you've got to get crystal clear on who you serve and start really dialing it in. And I've had to let go of my share of bad clients. Some of them were downright bad. Always unhappy, always complaining, always raising my stress level, complaining if I took a day off. You know the client. I've learned that if a client wants to leave, show them the door. It's time for them to go. If you try to hang on, you'll just be having the same conversation in a month. Fire them today, now. Every time I've let a bad client go, a much better one has come along, one that trusts me, one that likes me, one that actually listens to my counsel and advice. Guess what? There are an abundant number of clients out there to serve. Stop thinking with a scarcity mindset. And I've also had to let go of good clients simply because they weren't a good fit or they weren't profitable. Many of them were friends. And yes, that's a hard decision to make. But you're doing both yourself and them a favor. Odds are they're a better fit for someone else. There's a different service provider that will make them even happier. And you'll free up yourself to serve more of the right clients for you. Here at The Lawyer Millionaire, we help law firm owners expand their businesses, maximize profitability, and translate that into real, lasting personal wealth. We help you connect the dots between your business and personal financial goals. And we'd love to help you solve your profitability issues. This is one way to start attacking that. When you work with us, you get a dedicated family office style advisory team that includes a seasoned business advisor, a personal financial advisor, and a CPA, all working together to grow your business and your wealth. If that sounds interesting to you, we'd love to talk. And this episode grew out of our Q1 book read, which I mentioned at the beginning of the show, Profit First by Mike Michalowicz, and our masterclass series on profit systems this quarter inside the Lawyer Millionaire community. In Q2, which is underway now, we're going deeper, or maybe I should say higher, because we are building on that foundation with 2 new book reads this quarter, Simple Numbers and Simple Numbers 2.0 by Greg Crabtree. These are 2 really, really, really great books. Profit First will get you to $1 million. Simple Numbers will get you to 10 million and beyond. If you want to understand your finances at a level that genuinely makes a difference, I'd love to have you join us at community.lawyermillionaire.com. And it's completely free to join, by the way. And by the way, hurry up because our next masterclass is coming up quickly on April 23rd. You don't want to miss it. Well, that's it for today, friend. And remember, if your law firm isn't building you wealth and freedom, what the hell are you doing? Can I get an amen? I'll see you next time.
Are you a law firm owner looking to build real wealth and break free from the daily grind? On the Lawyer Millionaire podcast, we share practical strategies to grow your practice, maximize profits, and create the financial freedom you deserve. Join host Darren Wars as he interviews top experts and successful law firm leaders who share their secrets. Don't just practice law, build a legacy. Listen now to The Lawyer Millionaire wherever you get your podcast. The Lawyer Millionaire podcast is for informational and educational purposes only. It is not intended as legal, tax, or investment advice. Listeners should consult with a qualified professional before making any financial or business decisions. The views expressed by guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect those of Darren Wars or Lawyer Millionaire Wealth Advisors.